Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about Mercury going retrograde, because Mercury retrograde is what everyone that doesn't know astrology has heard before. Why? Because whenever Mercury goes retrograde, it seems like everything goes haywire. Because people don't use it for what it's good for. People just want to progress and keep moving forward 100 miles an hour. And Mercury retrograde means it's time to pull back and reassess everything. To relax, reflect, and review and pull back. So before I get into the details of what this Mercury retrograde is going to bring us all, I want to remind everyone to go to my website and sign up for my free newsletter where you can get everything I'm talking about every week, predictions and dates and times delivered to your email address. So go to galacticcenter.org, and I want you to know, once you do go to my website, that's where you can also sign up and subscribe to my new magazine, which is Joni Patry's Astrology Insights. It's a beautiful, all online magazine. You will love it. And last but not least, I have a phenomenal class that I'm reserving the whole weekend of September 10th and 11th for the Outer Planets Workshop, right in the midst where the attention and the mind's going to be so deeply open that this is the best timing for this workshop to occur. So all of that you will see on galacticcenter.org, the Outer Planets Workshop, the magazine, as well as signing up for my free newsletter. Okay, so let's get going. What is this Mercury retrograde going to mean for the world and all of us? The reason why this retrograde is so intense and powerful is that it's going to be in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is Mercury's exaltation sign, and that is its favorite sign to be in. And remember, when a planet's retrograde, according to what we know in Vedic astrology, it is more powerful because it's closer to the earth. And when Mercury, everything that Mercury rules is going to become more intense, more powerful, but that's what we need to focus in on. You see, when a planet goes retrograde, it's not really going retrograde. It's not going backwards in the sky, but it is from our vantage point from planet Earth. It's something in the effects that when we are all going around the sun and Earth passes, it feels like Mercury is going retrograde. It's going behind because we're passing it in the orbital speed around the sun. That's what retrogrades are. But in essence, it's not really going retrograde, but it is from our vantage point. But what does it truly mean? It means that planet is going a different direction than all the others, normally. I say normally because right now there's so many planets retrograde. They're all appearing to go backwards from the vantage point. And what is retrograde at this time? We have Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus is about to go retrograde. Yes, and let me see. Especially the fact that Saturn's retrograde. So we have Jupiter and Saturn retrograde. These are the planets that really deal with the world. Saturn deals with the governments. Jupiter deals with the economy. Together they are called the social planets and deal with the economic climate. They're both retrograde. Now with this, all the outer planets, by the way, are retrograde, yes. So we have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That's right. And now we're going to have Mercury on top of it. It's going to feel like we're all going back to review everything to see where we are. And with that, great information is about to be revealed, because we have to go back and reassess things to see what we needed to see so that we can make better choices in the future, have clarity. And I've been saying this, Mercury, while it is opposed Jupiter the entire time it is in Virgo during this retrograde, is phenomenal for going back and reviewing things and getting clear on things. Mercury is so powerful in Virgo. Its most powerful sign. It rules, Mercury all by itself rules intelligence, the mind, our thinking process, how we communicate. And it's going backwards, digs up some old things about all these issues. One thing I think to mention is how we communicate. And so Mercury rules the media of all kinds, information, the news, television, computers, our phones, everything, how information is coming to us. This is going to be powerful. And yes, during this retrograde, we might have some blips and major problems in the internet. Why? Because Mercury's even stronger in Virgo. So get ready. And traveling, you know, both Jupiter and Mercury both rule travel. So there's going to be a lot of delays, things going on with computers, with airlines, with many problems. Yes. But I always say, people, especially with this Mercury Jupiter, it's a good time to get away. Getting there may be a problem, but once you're there, Mercury retrograde is the best time to review and reflect on your life, because realizations are going to happen and they're going to make changes that change your life forever. This is a time to use your mind. Go within. Now, going without, trying to make things happen is not what this is about, but going within and trying to see things clearly for what the reality and the truth is what is going to be revealed to you about your life right now with Mercury retrograde. So Mercury retrograde, I don't know if I even gave you the dates of when it will be retrograde. It will be retrograde from September 9th through October 2nd. And during this time period, it is going to oppose Jupiter 3 times exactly. The first time that it opposes Jupiter is going to be the best time to really work on some new projects you've been wanting to get out. Why do I say that? Because Mercury's not yet retrograde. So that time period is going to be September 2nd. Okay? September 2nd is when Mercury and Jupiter are going to be exactly opposed to each other. And that is going to be at 2 degrees of Virgo. And the second time will be September 18th, where Mercury will be 10 degrees of Virgo. And the third and final time will be October 11th, where Mercury will be 7 degrees of Virgo. Now remember, Jupiter is exactly on those days the same degree in Pisces. All right, so they're in opposition. Now, the first and the last time that Mercury and Jupiter are opposed to each other, Mercury will not be retrograde. So if you will start making your plans for where you want to go, what you want to change in your life, during the Mercury retrograde, you will consolidate and really dig into what needs to happen and what you need to do by reviewing the past. And then by the third opposition is when it all comes together and happens. So use these dates, especially the first and the last. The middle one, you'll be doing the work because you go within during the Mercury retrograde and you analyze, you reflect, and you get your answers so that everything can change for the last opposition, which happens, what? October 11th. And remember, Mercury is actually retrograde from September 9th through October 2nd. All right, so now you know when it is retrograde, when all of this is going on and what you have to prepare for. But this is huge because Jupiter, which is the whole time Mercury's retrograde, is in Pisces. Jupiter is retrograde. So you have Mercury and Jupiter retrograde, Pisces and Virgo. Pisces is the spiritual sign. Pisces is the compassionate sign. Pisces is going to be all about spiritual growth and higher learning of a beautiful, incredible sort. While Mercury is all about the intellect, the mind, and changing consciousness with Jupiter's aspect to it. Changing your mind and your consciousness. And I think a lot of people are going to be changing their mind and their consciousness once all the information that's going to be surfacing in September comes out. A lot is transforming and changing in this world this month with this Mercury retrograde. Yes, this is phenomenal. Now, another thing I want to tell you is I want to go over a few of the signs which you can expect with this Mercury retrograde. Now, of course, if you have Mercury, if you have an Aries or let's see, Libra, Aries or Libra is your ascendant or your moon, then this Jupiter Mercury, they're going to be opposing each other from your 6-12 axes. So what does that mean? Both those signs, Aries and Libra, have everything to do with health and healing this month and coming forward with some amazing ideas. Now, another thing I want to talk about with this Mercury retrograde is while Mercury is in Virgo, Virgo is the sign of health and healing. And it is also the sign that deals with pretty much, if I could say, diet, nutrition, disease, learning more about disease. I think this Jupiter-Mercury opposition is going to bring out some major healings on what we can expect with disease. And what's been going on too, some revelations about the virus are coming about from this Mercury retrograde. This is too powerful. Another thing I want to remind you of when I think about Virgo, and remember what I always say, this is a fact, that Mercury, when it goes retrograde, it will be in the same element for the entire year. So Mercury being in Virgo means that whole year, the first go round, it's going to be in Capricorn. The second one was Virgo, and this last one, the second one was Taurus, and the last one is Virgo. So there are all three Mercury retrogrades in the earth signs of the zodiac. Earth is all about food, diet, nutrition, how we're going to grow our food. Pretty much that's what Taurus is all about. Virgo is about nutrition and diet, how our foods help us. And Capricorn is all about business, the business of food, production, all of that. All together, this relates to how the food gets to our table and how we eat and how it heals and betters our world, because we need nourishment. And that's what Mercury will bring to the forefront when it's retrograde. How are we going to do these things better? And so another thing is earth signs deal with work and money. If you think of Taurus, it's all about the money and banks and reserves. When you think about Capricorn, it's all about business and career focus. And when you talk about Virgo, it's all about the work ethic in your work. It's kind of like this. If you think of Virgo, it's relative to the 6th house in astrology because it's the 6th sign, which deals with everyday experiences in the workplace, our co-workers, everything to do with our health, as well as Taurus, the 2nd sign of the zodiac, deals with the 2nd house with money and finances and banks, how we make our money. Whereas Mercury, being in these earth signs, remember Capricorn is the 10th sign, and it's relative to the 10th house, which deals with career and work and purpose in life. So Mercury this year is going to shed light on all those areas: work, career, purpose, and our food and diet and healing. That's what this Mercury retrograde, it's wrapping it all up in the end to bring all of this to the forefront to make our world a better place through what these earth signs represent. So the retrograde process is to review, reflect, and through that improve our lives. So Aries, if you have Aries moon or Aries ascendant, it's going to be all about the healing for you. Healing, as well as Libra, healing and making your life better physically, emotionally, spiritually. And if you have Taurus as your ascendant or moon, this Mercury retrograde is going to bring out your creativity and bring more friends, as well as if you have Scorpio. And with both Taurus and Scorpio, it's going to be all about children. If you're trying to have children, or if you have children, they need your attention during this time. You're going to have to review and fix some things with them. But friends and acquaintances, you're going to have new ones and connections from the past with old friends. If your ascendant or moon are in Gemini or Sagittarius, it's going to be all about where you live in your work. Those are going to be big changes for you to look at this time. And if your ascendant or moon are in Cancer or Capricorn, you can't get enough learning. Learning is so important. And you will be finding that you're going to spend more time with siblings or your father. If your ascendant or moon sign sits in Leo or Aquarius, you're going to find major transformational changes financially for you, both with money you share with others as well as your own money that you make. And if your ascendant or moon sign sit in Virgo or Pisces, then this is going to be the time of relationships, either meeting someone new or reevaluating and fixing your old relationships, making them better. Yes, making them better. So I think, pretty much the opposing signs, since both that Mercury and Jupiter, that opposition is going to be activating the opposing signs, all pretty much in the same way. So I hope with this Mercury retrograde, you have a better feel of what to expect. Remember, as I've been saying, this Mercury retrograde opposed Jupiter, there are going to be so many truths and realizations that are going to surface at this time, because Mercury makes us go back and reassess everything from the past to give clarity and transparency to what's happening now. And this is going to improve our lives and make things better. Do I think it's a time to travel during this retrograde? Well, it's going to be hard to get from point A to point B. Yes, there's going to be the usual craziness with computers and shutdowns, and this may even be the worst Mercury retrograde as well. Because why? Because Mercury's stronger and Jupiter makes it bigger. So bigger upsets, bigger calamities with computers and shifts and communications. Remember, so many things are going to be revealed. This is going to be a big, powerful, if not the most powerful Mercury retrograde you've ever seen. But I think you'll learn to respect and honor retrogrades from this point on, because what you're going to discover is retrogrades bring things from the past. You got to reflect, review, and from that, it's going to give big information that will change everything. So with that, I'd like to close. If you'd like more information on me, remember, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Sign up for my free newsletter and my classes and magazine. But if you want to learn Vedic astrology, I have I am so proud of my university, and I'm beyond proud of all my students at the university. It's totally amazing. Go to my university website, universityofvedicastrology.com. What I want you to know is it's all self-paced. Doesn't really matter when you start with the university. You can start anytime. Check it out, become part of our community, and start learning more about Vedic astrology. It will put your life in perspective. And I got to say this, it will change your life. So with that, I'll close. Thank you.